In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 core skills that you need in order to build a successful business. I've spent the past 10 years building businesses without having any money or experience to start with. In 2014, I built my first ever business, which I had no money, I had no experience, and I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. And within that 10-year period, I have built that business up to a 6-figure business. I've opened a second business, which is in person, and a third business, which is online. But it wasn't easy, and unfortunately, I had to take the long route to success. So this is exactly why I've created this brand new series where I'm going to help new startup businesses or businesses in their first couple of years of growing and create bite-sized chunks videos where I can take you through step by step all the processes and skills that I have learned over that time. So the first skill I want to talk about is content creation. I would say that this is probably one of the most important skills that I have learned in order to grow my brand and of course grow my business. Now you might be wondering why content creation is so important for business, and the reason is because it can give you free visibility. Now, if you think about it, back in the days when we didn't have social media and we weren't able to utilize content, we had to do older marketing techniques, such as flyers through the doors, maybe in the newspaper, on the radio. A lot of those were very expensive and a lot of people couldn't use those as a source of marketing. So it actually took me a few years to understand and utilize brand visibility using online platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. I managed to curate some really good videos and photos, and every time people came in, I'd get some before and afters. I'd take pictures of the salon itself. It was a hair and beauty salon that I first started, so it was very visually appealing. And once I started to build up that brand and I started to use content in my business, it really started to grow, and I really seen a huge difference in getting more clients in the door and people to really take us serious as a business. Therefore, I think that you should definitely spend some time learning content creation, learning social media marketing, and utilize that free resource that we now have. So the second skill is something that people genuinely forget about and they really don't put a lot of effort into. But I genuinely think this has been one of the most important things in order for my business to be able to have the retention it has and to have the clients coming back again and again, which is really, really important if you have a business that is service-based. And that is customer experience. The customer experience is not about, having the customer be right all the time. When you're creating a business, it's all about emotion and feeling of the person that you are selling your services or products to. And you want to create that feeling within your business and your brand so that the customers want to keep coming back and so that they share it with everybody else. Also, if you do not know who your customers are yet and you haven't done that analysis on what type of customer that you're trying to attract or who they are, I do have a free guide that I will link below in the description, and you can download that so you can do some brainstorming and analysis on your customer base. So the most important thing about customer experience is evoking that emotion, evoking that feeling. So I'm just going to share an example of my business and how we did it so that you can get some ideas for yourself and your own business. We were a hair and beauty salon that was based outside of the city centre but still wanted to have that luxury feel. We created the design so that professional women that came into the salon and had high stress jobs, we wanted a space for them to feel really open, relaxed, just enjoy that little bit of luxury, that little bit of time out for them and feel pampered. So how did we do that, and how did we achieve that within our business? So firstly, we done it in the design. We made sure that there was no clutter, there was nothing on our shelves, like the hair dryers were away in drawers, the seating area was just your chairs and something aesthetically pleasing like a little plant or just like one little magazine, something that made them feel like they had so much space around them. We also had luxury bottles of water, so we would have glass bottles of water that made them feel like they were in a nice hotel. When they would go and get their hair washed, we would do a massage, and we would make sure that we were always talking to them so that they understood every process of what we were doing. And all of those little steps really made a good customer experience, which made people want to come back, get that little bit of luxury, and feel like they were in that heavenly place that was spacious and felt like they were away from their busy life. So customer experience is so important, and if you can add in those tiny little details, it will make all of the difference. So skill 3 is profit margins. This is something that really a lot of people miss as well. They go in and just make up pricing, and they won't actually do any research on how much their services or products are going to cost, like how much profit do you need to make to cover all of your costs, and are you charging the right pricing? Although you may say, I'm really just passionate about this business, I really just want to help people, and I'm not really bothered about the money. Ultimately, business is about money. Like, it's about numbers, and you need to know your numbers. You need to understand that you have to make a profit in your business for it to be a business, and you have to be able to make money in order to buy stock, to pay your staff, to pay yourself, and to grow your business and to have more opportunities for your business. So even if money isn't your number one driver, which it may be, and that's totally fine, you still need to be able to understand your profit margins and understand how much is it to buy something, how much profit do I need to make, and how much is going to be left over. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that in this video, but there will be a video coming very shortly where I'll break it all down and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So the fourth skill is self-awareness. And again, this is something that people don't really think about, and they just want to hear the step-by-step, like follow this strategy one thing at a time, and that's all you need to know. Now, I am going to share the strategy with you, and I am going to take you through all of the steps and the plans and the strategy in these videos, but I really want you to be aware that self-awareness is hugely important as a business owner. When I first started hiring people as employed staff, I started off with self-employed, which then they just paid me a rent, and I didn't have to manage them, which was fine, but it has pros and cons, which again I'll talk about maybe in another video. But when I actually employed people and I was the boss, I was the manager, I was the person that had to lead them, I had to understand how I was as a business owner, I had to understand how to manage other people, and I had to understand really who I was, because I had to be aware of myself when I was working with the public, when I'm working with clients and customers. Like, if you don't have that self-awareness and you don't understand who you are as a person, what your values are, what your mission is, like the purpose and the meaning behind your business, then it's going to be very hard to have that confidence in yourself to keep going and keep going when times get hard. Because business can be such a roller coaster. It is, I always say, it is the biggest self-development journey you will ever go through. You learn so much about yourself, you learn more about who you are, what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like. You learn about people, you learn about psychology. There is so much that you go through as a business owner, and I just think if you can learn more about yourself and start doing some self-reflection exercises, start getting up a little bit early in the morning, start eating better, all of these things are a part of your business journey and a part of your growth. And if you don't have that open mind and that growth mindset, it's going to be very hard to continue on this roller coaster ride of a journey. So skill 5 kind of coincides with the previous skill, which is self-awareness, and that is managing your emotions. Now, this is a huge one, and if it's something that you are not skilled in already, I'd highly recommend doing some work on yourself to understand your emotions, maybe some self-regulation exercises, because as I said before, it's a huge roller coaster. So your emotions are going to be all over the place. You're going to be up here at some point on a high when you're getting loads of clients in, when all your money's coming in, everything's going right, and then you could be down here, like for me, it was a year that I made like 125,000 in 1 year in my business, and then like staff left, like everyone left at the same time, and then it dropped to like less than half of that, and things were going wrong with the building, there was leaks coming from the roof, there was things that needed fixed, and everything came at one time. And I was like on this roller coaster. I used to get myself in such a mess where I would not be able to manage my emotions. It would fully stress me out that it would start to affect my body, it would affect my skin. I wouldn't be able to function as a mother. I wouldn't be able to watch the kids or be with my husband because I'd just lash out. I'd be irritated all the time. So managing your emotions and being able to self-regulate and detach from the outcome of everything that's going on around you is a huge important skill that will serve you a long, long way when running a business. So the next skill is something that a lot of young people don't have today, and it's something that I think is so, so important, and that is communication skills. What I mean by communication skills is being able to express what you have to say clearly and effectively. Now, as you might know by watching these videos, I can ramble on, and I used to be really bad at this. I've always been able to talk, I've always been a big talker, but I used to mix my words up. I wasn't really sure what I was saying. I was kind of like, I have ADHD, so I can lose track quite easy of what I'm saying and then forget the point that I was trying to make. So to really hone in on my communication skills, I done a lot of self-evaluation and self-reflection, and that just looked like writing things out in my journal, like how do I feel, understanding my emotions. Like I said before, I started to take on more speaking opportunities. Like I've got my podcast now. I've done a few events, smaller events, where I've got up and spoke about my experience as a business owner. I've been learning about storytelling. All of these things that we are learning and then putting into action and practicing is building upon our skill set. And I really, really advise you to just, if you're shy, if you're an introvert, and if the thought of communicating and speaking with people absolutely paralyzes you, I would just start really small. Just start by, maybe speaking on your stories, or maybe taking that first step to a small networking event where you chat to one person that day, and just building it up over time. The more evidence that we build up, the easier it is to have that confidence and have that self-belief in order to do it again. So the last skill is another random skill that you maybe never heard before, but it's something that has really helped me, and it's something that luckily I enjoy doing, and that is the ability to research effectively. Now, within business, people want to just jump right in and get started on the fun stuff, doing the creative stuff, and I totally get that because I really want to just do the fun stuff as well. What I mean by researching is, if you look at other people that have similar businesses to you, then you can look at what their customers are asking. They'll already have big audiences, so there'll be people that are asking them specific questions, and that way you can get an understanding of who your audience is. You can get an understanding of what your customer wants, like their desires and their pains and their struggles, and how you can solve that problem for them as a business owner, and maybe improve your service because you really understand who they are and what it is they need. So in next week's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 worst businesses to start in 2024 so that you don't have to waste your time on these businesses, and then hopefully get an insight into some of the better businesses to start if you haven't already decided on where you're going to go with your business this year. But for now, you can watch this video right here, and I will be sharing a new video every single week with you. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and comment any questions that you might have that I can then create another video on. I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you in the next video.